So as I'm recording this video, the Phoenix Suns just dominated another game last night in the NBA Finals. As I'm recording this, they're up 2-0 in the NBA Finals against the Milwaukee Bucks and are destined to win their first NBA title in franchise history. My prediction of Suns in 5 in this series is looking pretty good right now. I made a video about my prediction, analysis, and preview of the finals a few days ago, so be sure to check that one out as well. It might even be Suns in 4. They're just completely dominating this series right now. I've made a lot of content on the channel about the Phoenix Suns. Specifically, a video that stands out to me is one that now has over 1,300 views. I made it about during the second round, and I made it about why I think they ultimately are going to win the NBA championship, 5 reasons why I think that, and the Phoenix Suns have by far been the best team in the NBA playoffs so far. But if you're involved in the NBA community on any type of social media, you know that lots of people are trying to discredit this run for the Phoenix Suns and ultimately their championship that they're probably going to end up winning. Every team that they've faced in the NBA playoffs so far has had some sort of big injury towards one of their star players and core players on their team, and because of this, many people around the NBA community are calling this a Mickey Mouse ring for the Phoenix Suns. This is a term that was brought up and made from the bubble last year when it was in Disney World, and ever since then, people have really been trying to discredit some of the greatness that we're seeing in the NBA currently, and this Phoenix Suns run has really been absolutely amazing, and it really makes me mad that people are trying to discredit it. So in this video today, I'm going to explain why this run by the Phoenix Suns absolutely should not be discredited. It's not a Mickey Mouse ring at all, and why all of these people that are trying to discredit these rungs are complete casual fans of the NBA. The first thing I want to talk about here before I specifically get into the 2021 playoffs and going round by round why the Phoenix Suns legitimately did win the series is about how in sports in general, and especially in the NBA, injuries and asterisks are part of the game. Okay, there's always going to be some sort of thing that goes against the team that actually won and why it's not real. And I'm going to point out something that I've seen on Instagram recently from one of my favorite basketball accounts called Slam Studios. They're doing this series right now where they're looking at every single NBA championship, and they've gone all the way from currently all the way back into the late 1990s and giving an asterisk to every single NBA championship that has been won. And some of these aren't as strong ones as recent ones, especially the 2021 playoffs, but you can see that there's always going to be something discrediting someone's NBA championship that they won. And we have to realize that in professional sports, especially, injuries are always going to be a part of the game, and that this is going to happen. No ring should ever be discredited, no matter how many injuries there are, no matter how much of an easy run that it was. It should never be discredited, especially when you have a team that's as good as the Phoenix Suns. If you've been watching the playoffs at all this year, you know that the Phoenix Suns are one of the best built teams that we've actually seen in a while. I mean, they have their leader in Chris Paul, they have their go-to scorer in Devin Booker, they have a very dominant, classic, traditional big man in DeAndre Ayton that's their defensive anchor, they have many great, versatile on-ball defenders, they have three-point shooters, they pretty much have everything that you need to succeed and win a championship in today's NBA. They remind me of a lot of my team. If you guys watch the channel, you know I'm a big Raptors fan. They remind me a lot of the 2019 Raptors, how well built that team was, and just like them, the Raptors also had the asterisk next to their ring of how guys like KD and Klay Thompson were injured in the NBA Finals. Same thing there. Obviously, the Warriors probably would have won that NBA championship if it wasn't for those injuries, but the Raptors were still built so well. Injuries are a part of the game, and they absolutely deserve that ring. And if you were looking at the screen when I put up those posts from Slam Studios, I think you guys get the point right now. There's always some kind of asterisk for every single ring that has been won in NBA history, or close to every single ring. Injuries and all of these asterisks are part of the game, and we just have to accept that as NBA fans. So let me talk a little bit more in depth of why this year, specifically for the Phoenix Suns run, it shouldn't be discredited. I already talked about just how well built their team is. They have incredible coaching, they have a top 10 offensive rating in both the regular season and the NBA playoffs, and a top 5 defensive rating in both the playoffs and the regular season as well. So you can see just how they're built exactly like a championship team needs to be built. They have one of the best 2 players in the NBA, both in my opinion top top 15 players in Chris Paul and Devin Booker, an amazing playmaker in CB3, an incredible scorer in Devin Booker, an amazing overall defense with amazing coaching. I've already talked about in this video just how amazing their team is and how they are built for a championship run. And the people that say specifically that this doesn't count and they don't have what it takes to win an NBA championship, those are the people that just simply don't watch basketball and just follow along with the box scores. Because if you've been watching the NBA playoffs, you should know how good this Phoenix Suns team really is. Now let's get into specifically why in each series the Suns actually could have won this if both teams are fully healthy. So let's talk about the Lakers series. This is the one where specifically, even in my opinion, the Lakers might have won this if they were fully healthy with Anthony Davis not getting injured. But first of all, how are we not going to act like Chris Paul literally missed game 2 and 3 in the series? I mean, are we going to focus so much on Anthony Davis being injured that we're not even going to notice that Chris Paul was out in the first 2 games? I mean, they win game 1 pretty comfortably. With CP3, if they have him in the lineup, they probably win game 2 and lose game 3. So we know that in this series, the Lakers went up 2-1, but it was such a close game in game 2. If they had their main leader and top 2 player on their team in Chris Paul, they probably win that game. So let's say they're up 2-1 with everyone fully healthy. Now in game 4, everyone's fully healthy and they're up 54-50 when Anthony Davis goes down. So he gets injured and they obviously now win this game. Now let's say that he doesn't get injured. The Suns are still winning this game by 4 points, so this game could go either way. Considering that they were up, let's assume that they win this game. It's really 50-50, but let's say they're up 3-1. So if everyone stays fully healthy, AD is all good to go and he's fully healthy and he's ready to play this whole series, the Suns are still up 2-1 and probably on pace to be up 3-1. And now even without Anthony Davis, these game 5 and 6 were just complete blowouts and the Suns completely dominated this. The Lakers weren't hitting any threes. The Suns really shrunk the floor and were able to shut down LeBron James pretty well as well defensively and completely dominated in transition. Devin Booker was going off this series. They blew out games 5 and 6, and even with a healthy Anthony Davis, they probably win both of these games too. So if both teams are fully healthy here, the Phoenix Suns probably win this series. We move on to the second round against the Denver Nuggets, and everyone here is using the excuse for the Nuggets that Jamal Murray was out. Like, if you actually think that the Nuggets would have won this series with Jamal Murray, I just don't even know what to tell you. You just need to like go to the eye doctor or something, or get some higher education in math or something. Like, the Phoenix Suns dominated this series so much they won the first game by 17 points, game 2 by 25 points, game 3 by 14 points, and game 4 by 7. If Jamal Murray plays in this series, at most, they're pushing this to 5 games. This series was just completely dominated by the Phoenix Suns. They were the better team in pretty much every aspect of the game, and if you watch this series, it's clear to know that if Jamal Murray was playing, they still wouldn't even have had a chance at being the Phoenix Suns. Now in the Western Conference Final against the Clippers here, this one actually is really interesting because personally this is the only one that I think has a legitimate chance to say if Kawhi played in this series and was fully healthy that the Clippers would win this series. Personally, I think if Kawhi played, I'm a huge fan of Kawhi, and obviously the Clippers missed him a ton in this series. I think there's about a 50-50 chance that if he plays, the Clippers win this series. But again, are we seriously going to leave out the context that Chris Paul missed the first 2 games of this series? Like, are we seriously going to sit here and leave this context out of this discussion? I mean, Chris Paul and Kawhi, if you ask me, obviously Kawhi is the better player, but in terms of impact towards their team, they have a very similar impact towards their team. Chris Paul is obviously the definition of an impactful player, and if they both are fully healthy and play these first 2 games, I'm still probably going to take the Phoenix Suns winning both of these games. So already they're up 2-0 in the series, and then obviously you could argue that if Kawhi is fully healthy, they could easily win this series. Again, like I said, I think it was probably about a 50-50 chance the Phoenix Suns would probably already be up 2-0 like I discussed, but again, this could have been prevented, honestly. Like, we look at in 2019 how the Raptors were able to use load management with Kawhi Leonard to keep him out of a lot of games, and they had a system where he was probably going to stay fully healthy in the playoffs. I'm not saying the Clippers did a bad job of this, but maybe if they tried that. We have to remember that not only are injuries a part of sports, but you could argue that it's also a skill to stay fully healthy and have good durability. So again, this one right here, this win for the Phoenix Suns in the Western Conference Final, absolutely also should not be discredited. And lastly, for the NBA Finals, somehow these casual fans have been able to come up with an excuse for this one too. And they're saying that Giannis isn't fully healthy. I mean, maybe my prescription for my lenses on my glasses are like the wrong one or something. I'll check with my eye doctor the next time I have an appointment, but I'm pretty sure what I've seen is that Giannis is pretty damn healthy right now. I mean, I'm pretty sure a guy that's putting up 42 points and 12 rebounds in an NBA Finals game and making LeBron type of chase down blocks is pretty much fully healthy. There's no excuse you can make for this NBA Finals. Let's just be honest, there's absolutely no asterisk to this one. I mean, Giannis is pretty much fully healthy. Even if he isn't, the Suns are winning these games very comfortably, and there's no way you can discredit this NBA Finals at all. So there you have it. That's going to be the end of today's video. If you discredit the Phoenix Suns and call it a Mickey Mouse ring, I highly encourage you to watch a game of basketball with your eyes, please. And also, even though you could make a case for many of these, or two of these series really, like the Lakers series and the Clippers series, that they might have lost this series if everyone is fully healthy, you have to remember that there's an asterisk for every single season in the entire NBA. Injuries are part of the game, and if you watch the Phoenix Suns play this season, you know that they're absolutely at least a championship caliber team, and if they do end up winning this NBA championship, they absolutely deserve it. Thank you all for watching this video. If you're new, be sure to subscribe, comment down below your thoughts on today's video, and I'll see you all next video.